I'm in the production track, and I chose that track because design is kind of my passion. So my undergrad was in psychology, and that definitely helped me at FIEA. I use a lot of psychology things every single day when designing games or figuring out marketing or really talking to other developers or things like that, so it's super useful. I chose FIEA because one, I live in Florida, so I got in-state tuition, which was really nice. And two, because I had already done a master's degree, or part of one, beforehand, and things were getting expensive, so money was kind of a very important consideration for me. I guess that depends on what project we're talking about. On Capstone, I was a lead designer. That involved writing a lot of game design documents, making sure that everybody understands the creative vision of the game. These days, I'm more of a solo developer, so I do programming, I do artwork, I do design, I do level building. I kind of do a little bit of everything every day, so keep it fresh. I guess before I came here, I visited, so I kind of knew what the whole idea was, but I was really looking forward to the teamwork aspect of it all, because it's one thing to like sit at home and develop games, and it's another thing to be here with other people who are just as excited about it as you are. So. Working with people is pretty hard, actually. It's a little bit like herding cats, but I'd say that is probably the most surprising thing, was learning how to deal with other people. You know, designing games is not very hard. For me, managing people is much more difficult, so that was the biggest surprise to me. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have gone all the way to Chicago and spent $40,000 on another master's degree. But I feel like I was sufficiently prepared for FIEA from my psychology undergrad, which is kind of weird because it's not anything specific to game design in particular or making games. But yeah, play a lot of games before you come to FIEA because you don't get a chance to play them while you're here, and that helped prepare me, I guess. I think I pulled my first all-nighter for the game design shootout in Rick's class. So that was at the end of the first semester. So I'd say like 2 months or so I was here. Yeah, and then it was that all-nighter and then another one right before Capstone pitches. That was another all-nighter. So, but those are the only two. I did want to be a solo developer, you know, indie and doing all that stuff, and have a team on the internet doing Skype and stuff like that, but I'm a lot more on board with the getting a job at a big studio now, which is kind of the opposite of what a lot of people think maybe coming into here, like, oh, I want to get a job at a big studio, so I'm going to come to FIEA. I was like, oh, I want to do the indie thing, and although that is still cool and I'm definitely still interested in that, I feel like I'm prepared to work at a big studio as well, so that was unexpected. Don't eat out all the time, cook your own food, sleep as much as you can, like try to get at least 8 hours a day, because you're going to do less good work when you're sleep deprived than you are, you know, staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning working on something and making more bugs. So those are the two things: eat well and get a lot of sleep.